So today we'll be presenting our presentation on Internet of Things. So originally we're going to do a demo, however, because we don't have the equipment or the hardware at the moment, so we're just going to skip that bit and just do the presentation on what IoT is. So obviously we start with the question, what is IoT? So IoT stands for the Internet of Things. So basically it takes devices and physical objects and connects them to the internet where data and information is shared. So this can include anything from cell phones, coffee makers, and basically any physical objects you can connect to the internet. So we have a chart here which shows the number of connected devices to the internet per year. So for the last about 20 years, we can see that IoT has been growing exponentially, and we believe that this will continue to grow, and this trend will continue in the future.
So I'm just going to briefly explain how IoT works. Essentially, there are four components: devices, gateway, cloud, and application. So in devices, you have your controllers, such as sprinklers and light bulbs, and then you have your sensors, which are light sensors, motion sensor. They collect information about the user, about the environment, and then it sends the information to the gateway, which connects all the devices together through Zigbee. And then the information is then sent to the cloud through long tooth, which is then sent to the application, which is made on the MIT App Inventor. So there are four problems with IoT. The first one is data collection. You need to know what data to collect, where to store them, and if companies want to collect the data, they need to be willing to be responsible for them. And if they don't want to be responsible for them, they shouldn't collect it. And it leads me to my next point, which is security risk. Security solution expenses would grow to about $840 billion in 2020, and about 84% of organizations have experienced breaches, such as hacking to self-driving cars and so on. The third one is privacy concerns. We've heard about how Facebook sold user data to Cambridge Analytica. Some companies sell their data, user data to advertising companies. The fourth one is operational costs. It's very expensive to implement them, to maintain them, and to integrate legacy technology.
So why is IoT important? So there's three main points. So saving energy, saving money, as well as reducing costs. So IoT promotes efficient resource utilization because it can be used to monitor and survey devices, so one can control the usage and adjust them accordingly. So for example, the city of Barcelona saved 30% of energy savings from using a smart lighting system, which helps them save money. And thirdly, cost of production will be reduced. So for example, if farmers were to utilize IoT and machinery, they can monitor their crops using IoT rather than human labor. And by doing this, they're more efficient and they're able to harvest crops faster. And by doing this, it may help to reduce the cost of food prices. So what are some of the applications of IoT in real life? So firstly, we have smart homes, smart cities, as well as smart wearables. So a lot of homes utilize IoT to make it more convenient. For example, utilizing a smart lighting system which utilizes motion sensors, or using virtual assistants such as Amazon Alexa or Google Home, which utilizes voice recognition and does things according to your command. So secondly, we have smart cities. So this will include things such as cars to traffic control, waste distribution, and road lights. So for example, cars are optimized with IoT to prevent accidents, as well as GPS systems utilize IoT to allow the car to get to their destination as quick as possible. Public transportation information is made available to the public so that they can see where their buses or metro are, so that they can be more time efficient. And finally, we have drainage systems that help monitor the water levels and gas concentrations, which helps them become more efficient again. So thirdly, we have wearable devices which also utilize IoT. For example, health monitoring devices like Apple Watches or Fitbits. Many of these devices are dedicated to fitness as well. So one example of this is a man was saved from atrial fibrillation because his Apple Watch detected an irregular heartbeat. So he was able to get diagnosed and healed before anything major happened. So these are some of the current products on the market that utilize IoT. So as I said before, Google Home and Amazon Alexa, which most of you are quite familiar with. and some less conventional products such as Bitdefender and Tuya. So Bitdefender is basically just a cybersecurity smart device. So the box connects to the local network so that all the devices on that same local network will have, the thing will have access to all those devices on the same local network, and this is all controlled using a mobile device. So, and lastly we have Tuya, which is a Chinese firm that sells smart devices and IoT devices such as smart lighting and smart cameras.
So we're just going to elaborate on a few potential applications of IoT. The first one is a smart barber. We know that it's very awkward and when we get a haircut and then we have to talk to the barber and they get a bit too personal. So with smart barber, that won't happen because you will enter your desired haircut, it will scan your head, and then it will just cut your hair for you. So firstly, you won't get your order wrong, any shorter or longer, that won't happen. And then secondly, you don't have to have awkward conversations.
So secondly, we've also come up with something called smart apparel, for example, smart clothing or smart shoes. So we think that this is important because it helps to utilize resources more efficiently so that clothes won't be wasted. So basically, it will change thickness according to the climate as well as style.